And I didn't mention, but there's no special props today, just whatever you normally use. Okay, so take a moment to arrange your seat. And you can have your legs folded in front if that's comfortable, or you can have them straight out, maybe ankles crossed. And we're going to sit up nice and tall through the center line of the body. So just feeling a slight lift through the crown, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. And we can let our hands rest on our knees or folded in our lap. Good. And when you set your posture and you feel comfortable, you can let your eyes close. And just take a moment now to allow your focus to come inside your body and just get a sense of how you're feeling this morning. We can look at that on a physical level. So, how are you holding your body? And are there any places of tension, any feelings of gripping? And just see if you can start to soften your shoulders a little more, release your jaw, relax your forehead, and sense the place where your sit bones touch your seat. And we can start to allow the seat to hold the weight of the body. So you might feel that as a sense of settling in or softening into your seat. And then we might notice how we're holding our breath this morning. So just notice where the breath is in the body. And very likely it might be up high in the chest. So start to relax your abdomen and allow a few deep belly breaths. We're inhaling through the nose, filling the belly, filling the sides of the waist. And then slow that exhale just a little bit as it moves up and back out through the nose. Good. So with intention, we're letting each inhalation be just a little longer, taking in just a little bit more breath, and a nice long controlled exhale up and out through the nose. And as you take time now to settle into awareness of the breath, you can feel everything kind of slow down, right? We start to release that feeling of momentum we often have all day long, but often especially in the morning as we're getting ready for our day. And we cultivate patience for the breath. And then also noticing as we go even a little deeper, the state of your mind this morning. And just noticing if the mind is here, ready for your practice, or if it's still elsewhere. And often with busyness or planning for the day. And allow the mind to now settle in your body, focusing on sensation, focusing on breath, and just letting go of everything that comes after for now. You can move a little by bringing the shoulders up to the ears, shoulders back and down and forward. So it starts some nice slow shoulder rotations, still aware of that deep belly breath, and just warming the joints. Witnessing any little clicks and cracks as the joints start to lubricate and warm, especially if you're in a cooler place this morning. And we might notice how our fall practice feels a little bit different than not that long ago when we were doing this and it was 90 and humid. Good. So next time your shoulders press back, let's hold them there for a moment. Just feel the shoulder blades moving towards one another, the chest opening, and then drop. So we have the sternum lifted. We're going to take the head now and slowly drop it. And just notice now the space between your chin and your sternum. allowing the head to be heavy. And when we release the head, what do we feel in the back body? So feeling the back of your neck, your upper back, and very likely all the way down the back. We'll take a little circle, right ear towards the right shoulder and back. Left ear to left shoulder and chin to chest. So just start some nice slow rotations. And as you're moving, if you find a place where sensation is particularly strong, stop there and just breathe. So you might hold, keep relaxing the shoulders, dropping the head. And after a few breaths, continue your rotation. And so maybe 3 breaths in those, especially sticky spots. And when you're ready, we'll go the other direction. Same thing, stopping where we need to relax and to breathe. Good. And the next time the chin is resting by the chest, we'll stay there. We're going to interlace the fingers, place the palms of your hands on the back of your head. And we're not pushing or pulling the head down. Just see if you can completely let go of your arms. Just like you put a sandbag on the back of your head, right? Just using the weight of the arms. Stretch a little more in the back of the neck. Good. And then let's take a nice long inhalation. We'll take a complete breath. So as you inhale through your nose, fill your belly and start to sit up. Fill your chest, lift your chest. And as the breath comes up to the shoulders, press the elbows back, look up at the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, head is dropping, elbows are closing, chest empties, belly empties. And as we round the spine, squeeze your navel in. Good, let's do 3 of these. As we inhale, we're sitting up and opening up and filling the lungs with breath. And slowly emptying top to bottom as we curl, squeeze, and draw in. Good. So just find a pace that is nice for you. And the next time the lungs are empty, you can take your hands out from behind your head. So don't rush. And then just come back to your sitting posture. We're going to do a few wings now. So fingertips are on the shoulders, elbows are close in front. And let's inhale, elbows up. Exhale, down and through. Do about 5, just like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press back and down. Good. Moving right along with your breath. And at the bottom of your next exhale, hands are on the knees. We're going to undulate the spine. So let's press forward, draw out to the side and back, other side and forward. So you might use your hands to keep your legs grounded so your knees aren't popping too much. A little bit's okay. And we're rolling through the lower back and our hip joints. Good, nice, easy shoulders. And switch directions. Good, rolling the other way. Good. And then back to your neutral point. And take some side bends. Nice big inhalation. The arms come overhead. And then as you exhale, let's drop the left hand and side bend to the left. Good. So just a little dip left ear towards the left hand. And as we're here, we're lifting through the right rib cage. Good. Take a few deep breaths into side body. And again, let's inhale, arms overhead. And right hand down, exhale, dip right. Good. And coming nice and slow, find the perfect place to hold. And then we're breathing deep into the left side of the ribs. Good. And this time we're going to twist. So inhale, arms overhead. Left hand down a little bit behind you. Right hand to left knee. And let's turn the body left. And gazing over the left shoulder, nice and tall. Root in line with crown. And inhale your arms overhead. And switch sides. Exhaling now and rotating to the right, through the belly, through the chest, and a soft gaze over the shoulder. And even in this twisted position, we're still breathing deep into the belly. And inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, arms down. Okay, so we're going to do our open leg forward fold. That's where we're headed. So you may want to take the bolster out from under you and use it as a prop on top of you. Whenever we forward fold on the floor, not a bad idea to have something thin, a blanket or a little cushion under your sit bones. And just come to a place where you can separate your heels. Good. And in a place where we feel a little stretch, but it's not too much. Okay, let's think about our feet first, and we're going to press through the heels, spread the toes. Okay. And then keep your toes spread, but straighten your ankles. And now point your toes. Okay. Keep your ankles straight, but flex your toes. And then bend your ankles. Okay, so I'm doing this in 2 steps. First, ankles straighten, toes point, toes spread, ankles bend. Okay, ankles straighten, toes point, toes flex, ankles bend. Okay, so let's try this a few times. And then we can start to roll the ankle joints. So let's draw circles up on the ceiling with the big toes. One way, then the other way. And then we're going to do some brushing with the hands. So we have our fingertips and they're here on the floor in front of us. We're going to brush the right fingertips towards the left ankle and back. Left fingertips, right ankle and back. Good. So you can actually be skimming the floor if that works. If it's better to be up in the air, we can be reaching more shoulder height. Okay, but we're rocking from sit bone to sit bone. And just a little gentle stretch through the back of the legs as we get prepared to hold. Yeah, we'll continue this brushing motion, but now we'll go forward and back. So down the center line and back. Pelvis tilts, pelvis comes back up, pelvis tilts. Okay. So just feel that you're rocking in your hip joints. Okay, and then when we come forward and we hold this, we're going to hold for about 3 minutes. So that being said, it's a good idea to prop yourself so that you're comfortable. Bolster's a nice prop here. You can bring it in between your legs and then rest your chin in your hands, rest on your stacked fists. You can bring a block here on top of the bolster. So your call, right? However you want to support your upper body. And then just start to walk into it, feeling the pelvis tilt, tilt, tilt towards the floor. And then if it feels good, you can drop your head, you can relax your shoulders. And just notice where you are in this posture. Yes, it's an intense one, right? We feel the backs of the legs, the inner thighs, the groin, the low back. And feel free to make any adjustments you like. So coming in a little deeper or maybe backing out a little bit. And then commit to be still. So be still means that we are surrendering to the posture. Allow your head and your shoulders to be heavy. Soft feet, soft ankles. And that continuous observation of the breath filling and emptying through the navel center. Good. So breathing deep into the abdomen challenges the diaphragm when we're in our forward folds, which is wonderful because it's a muscle that can be strengthened. Right? Long deep breaths. Let the inhalation lift you maybe just a little bit and the exhalation to settle you a little more deeply into your posture. Allowing your awareness to go to the places where you feel this the most strongly, and maybe to welcome the breath into those spaces. We might start to cultivate a yin-like breath here, which means inhaling through the nose and bringing the inhalation down deep into your body. So inhale down to your navel or maybe your pelvic center, and then exhale back up and out through the nose. Relax your shoulders, any place that tension might be showing up for you. The face, the hands. And let's be here for about 10 more breaths. Good. And when you feel ready to come out, we're going to first bring your back to neutral. So lift your head and then start to walk the hands back towards the body. Again, you can take any props you might have between your legs out. And we're going to fold our legs back into easy pose, but this time put your non-dominant leg in front. Okay, so for me, I usually have my right leg in front, but instead, what if I brought my right leg in first and then my left leg? Okay, so if this is really uncomfortable or painful, go back to your usual, but otherwise, let's be unusual. And we'll start to circle the spine a little bit, just some small movements. Good. One way, and then just a few circles the other way. Good. And then let's move the feet into our butterfly feet. So you might still have that little cushion underneath your sit bones, and we'll bring the feet together. So we're going to do some moving butterflies. We're going to lift to 3 and lower to 9. So when you're ready, you can hold your ankles, hold your feet, and let's lift 2, 3, and then open 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you get to 9, you're pressing the knees down, and then close 2, 3, open 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press and close 2, 3. One more. Open 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and press and close 2, 3. Okay. And then if you just kind of like let go of your knees and let them land wherever they land, neither up nor down, we're going to bring our hands behind the body and we're going to press into the hands, lift your chest, look up at the ceiling. And as you open your chest to the ceiling, press your knees open. Now I'll stay here for 5 big breaths and breathe right into your chest. And knees are dropping, chest is open, breathe. And then relax. Okay, let's come on down onto the floor and we'll be lying on our back, always recommending a little cushion or something for your head. And as you come onto your back, let's have our knees bent and the soles of the feet on the floor. And once you're here, we'll tip the knees. Yeah, we've been sitting for a while, so the low back might feel a little bit tight. Always start off small. Good. And as things start to warm up, we'll tip a little deeper, side to side. Good. Let's really let the pelvis rock. Good. And then we're going to bring the thighs into the chest in our wind reliever pose. So you can pick up your legs, wrap your hands around your knees, and hug your thighs in. And let's continue that rock now, gently massaging the lower back. And moving into our rock around the clock motion. So imagine a clock face up on the ceiling. And let's take the 2 knees and we'll trace a circle right up on the ceiling, right around the numbers of the clock. Good. And then switch direction, rolling out low back and sacrum. Good. We're going to do some leg lifts next. So your resting leg can either be bent with the sole of your foot on the floor, or both legs can be straight. So your call. Let's bring the feet down to the floor. And we're going to start on the right side. So bring your right leg long and point your toe. And then as we inhale, we're going to bring the knee in and then straighten the leg. flex the foot, exhale, and lower. So we're lowering slow to the exhale. Inhale, knee in, knee straight, flex the foot, exhale, and lower. Yeah. So if you're curious, you can see what it's like with the left leg straight, if that's better or not. Just notice if the leg straight means that we're using the low back, and if that's the case, let's come back to a bent knee. Good. Just feeling as you're lowering the leg that you're pressing through that heel nice and long. Okay, you got two more. Okay, let's switch to the other side now. So left leg is straight, toe is pointed. Let's inhale, knee in, knee straight. Flex the foot, exhale and lower, long through the heel. And 8 of these. Inhalation, 2 motions, exhalation, 1. Okay. Okay. Experiment with the resting leg, either bent or straight. And it's a little more tricky with the leg straight, but good. 2 more. And the next time that your left heel comes down, let's keep the legs down and bring both legs straight. Make sure you have space above your head for your hands and just come into a nice full body stretch here. So let's reach through our fingertips, reach through our heels, just get nice and long on the floor. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Good. And then we'll bring the arms back alongside and once again, bend both knees. And we're going to do our windshield wipers. So this is for the outer thigh, outer hip. Start to heel and toe your feet to the edges of your mat. And right knee dips towards center. You kind of lift your right hip and come back. And left knee towards center and come back. And so just feel in your body where the stretch is happening. Right? Outer hip, outer thigh. Those are our gallbladder meridian. And sometimes it can be a little tricky to access. So this is a really wonderful movement for that. And we're going to try something, something different. So there is a pose in yin yoga that's called shoelace. And what you'll recognize it from is the cow's head pose. So if you think about how you arrange your legs when you do cow's head pose, right? You have one knee stacked on top of the other, and it can be tough on knees, right? And a little tricky. So we're going to try doing it on our back. So let's experiment with this. Okay. So from here, let's just bring the feet up in the air and see if your left hand can hold your right ankle, right foot, or right low calf. And then somewhere out there in the distance, your right hand will hold your left foot or left ankle. So wherever you can get a hold of your two legs. And this might be as good as it gets. And then you would just draw your legs towards your body. If you could stack your right knee on top of your left and kind of fold your legs in. So think about what cow's head looks like. We can get as close to that as we can, or maybe right into it. And then the legs just come towards the body. Good. So here are cow's head legs without the body weight pressing down into sit bones and knees. So it's a little gentler. We're going to hold for 5. And you should feel, especially in your top leg, same thing you do when you windshield wiper. All right, there's that outer hip, outer thigh. And then let's release the feet and let your feet come back to the floor and do what you need to release that. So either a wind reliever or some tipping. So this time when we bring the legs up in the air, we want the left leg to be closer to us. So pick up your legs, left leg is closer. Good. And again, right hand holds left ankle, left hand holds right ankle. Lay back down. And if this is as good as it gets, it's fine. Draw the legs towards you. Or you could wonder if you could put your left knee somewhere close to being on top of your right knee. So can you stack the legs? And I can't close. I'm in a little bit of a more of a pretzel shape, but if you're feeling it in your outer leg, into your buttock on the top leg, then there you are. All right. To realizing, I think we all do at this point, that it's what we're feeling and what we're doing that's important. All right, not the aesthetics. Okay, so bringing your left leg towards your body, do you feel outer thigh, outer hip, and the buttock area? Good. One more breath. And then you can release your feet and let your feet come back to the floor. Okay, and again, in this neutral position of heels in line with sit bones, we're gently rocking. Good. And then the next time that your knees rock to the right, hold them there. So just let the knees drop right. And as best you can, relax the left shoulder down. We're going to pick up the head, turn and look to the left, and place the head back on the floor. Good. So fine if your knees are up in the air a little bit. Mine are. Just let your legs be heavy for about 5 breaths. Good. Relaxing through upper back, relaxing the muscles in the face. Good. And then lift your head, bring your head back to neutral. You're looking at the ceiling. And lift your knees. And now to the left, drop your knees. Good. And then we'll pick up the head, turn and look to the right, and bring the head back down. And a gentle twist here, letting the thighs be heavy. Good. Set your head back to neutral and knees tip back up. Okay, so we'll do some circles now for the hip joint. So let's start on the right side. Your hands can be flat on the floor next to you, or they can hold your pelvis. So you might like having the palms of your hands on your hips, and that'll just kind of suggest that the pelvis doesn't rock too much. Take the right knee towards you, And start to trace a circle up on the ceiling with the right knee. If the left leg is in your way, just let it fall open. Good. And what we're thinking about is the thigh bone, so our femur, making a circle. Right? The low leg is just kind of hanging there. Good. Working deep into that joint between the hip and the thigh. Good. Maybe lots of clicks and cracks here. And then we'll switch directions. And again, nice big slow circles. So we do this slow because momentum means that we're not using our strength. Okay, I like to keep our hip joints strong. And we're looking for that lovely tired feeling. So when the joint starts to feel tired, we'll place the foot back on the floor and we'll switch sides. Okay, so you can let the right knee fall out a little bit if it's in the way and bring your left knee in towards your body. And start with a nice moderate circle. Okay, working now into that left hip joint, allowing each circle to get a little bigger and a little bigger. And slow down and switch directions. Good. And one more big circle. Good. Let's place the foot back on the floor. And now we're going to do some work with our eyes. So however you want to have your legs. You can have your knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. It's more relaxing. You can have the legs out straight. And we're going to have our eyes up on the ceiling. And the head will not move. So set your head comfortably on your cushion. And we're just going to be working with our eye muscles. So again, we can imagine that clock up on the ceiling. And bring your eyes to look up at 12. So it's like you're trying to see your own eyebrows. And then move your eyes to 1, 2, 3. And when you're looking at 3 o'clock, you're looking as far right as you can without moving your head. Maybe you see the shadow of your nose. 4, 5, 6. And at 6, we're trying to see the chin. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, looking up at the ceiling, or I shouldn't say ceiling, looking up at your eyebrows. Let's go around the clock now counterclockwise. So from 12, go to 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at 12, hold at 12. And slowly now sweep your eyes down to 6 and up to 12, to the right at 3, to the left at 9, and 3, and 9, and neutral. And now gently close your eyes and squeeze them gently. Wrinkle your forehead, purse your lips, scrunch up your nose, and then relax your face. It can feel good to take your hands and rub just the heels of your hands together. We get the heels of the hands nice and warm. And then take the heels of the hands and place them on your eyelids. Good. Take a moment for that warmth to come through the eyelids and really relax your eyes. So soften the space around them. Imagine all the muscles that move your eyes, relaxing, softening your forehead and your cheeks. Good. And then when you're ready to, you can take your hands off your face, hands alongside. And now let's bend the knees. You can keep your eyes closed if it feels good. And once your feet are up on the floor, we're going to push down into the feet so we can lift the pelvis just a little bit and roll the low back and sacrum down. Good. So we're just getting some of the arch out of the low back. And we're going to think about Ashwini Mudra now, which is the squeeze and release of the glutes. So take a nice big inhalation and relax. Soften your body, and as you exhale, start to firm and squeeze your glutes. When the lungs are empty, you're squeezing tight. And then as you inhale, start to release and relax the glutes. Lungs are full, muscles are soft. Good. And keep going. Do about 4 just like this. On the exhale, we're very gradually and with control, firming. Max squeeze, empty lungs. And as we breathe in, we're relaxing and letting go again, bit by bit. Good. Last one. Good squeeze. And now watch your body release. Good. So we often do the Agnisara practice standing, and since we're here, let's do it lying down. And sometimes lying down, I think, helps us focus even more on what we're doing, right? Because we don't need to be balanced in our standing position. So Agnisara, big inhalation, relax. And now as you exhale, lift and squeeze your pelvic floor, draw your low abdomen in, draw your navel in. You can feel your pelvis tilt towards you, squeeze. And then as you inhale, relax your belly, low abdomen. And as you soften your pelvic floor, feel your pelvis tilt away from you. Okay, let's see if we can do 5 just like that. So on the inhalation, we're relaxing. Exhale. Begin to lift and squeeze pelvic floor, low abdomen, navel. Inhale, relax, navel, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Good. So just working at a pace that feels good to you. And remember, the feeling is a nice firm hold, but not squeezing for dear life, right? So we want to get energy flowing, not cut it off. That's a nice firm squeeze up, a nice gentle release down. Good. And I feel sometimes that this tilting of the pelvis also helps us guide the breath, guide the energy up and down as we think about moving from the pelvic floor to someplace just above the navel, at the base of the rib cage. And from there, energetically moving back down to the pelvic floor. Good. Get one more. Good. And when you've complete your last repetition, and again, we'll gently fan the knees. We might come to an open wind reliever. So bringing your knees towards your hips, wiggle your toes and roll around a little bit. Good. And then when you feel ready, we're going to get off our back and let's come over onto our belly. So you can roll to your side and let's come over into our crocodile pose. Good. So crocodile means that we are on the belly. We can have our forearms stacked in front of us and our forehead resting. Good. And just take a moment now to settle the body into the floor. Take a few deep breaths. And we're going to do some geckos here. So a gecko is rather like climbing up the side of your terrarium. If you think about a gecko with a little suction cup hands. So let's bring our legs to neutral. We're going to be on our knees on the tops of our feet, and we'll do our gecko leg on the right side first. So we're going to rotate the thigh open. So you're resting on your inner knee, inner ankle, and then we're going to slide the knee up. So you can use your big toe to help too, kind of walk your leg up. And you'll probably feel that your hip joint is lifted a little bit. So try not to be up too high that we're really squeezing low back or anything. Good. And then once you're there, we're going to turn the head and look away from the leg. So your right knee is up, your face is looking to the left. And you can be on your hands. If you want to grab your cushion, be on your cushion. Good. And just gently pressing the pelvis down, pressing the right hip joint down. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll gecko on the other side. So again, big toe can help. Slide your leg out to straight and then back to neutral. And we're going to now open the left leg. So you're on your left inner thigh, inner knee. Big toe walks the thigh up. Again, enough that the hip joint lifts a little bit, but we're not squeezing out the back. And now we want our head to look away from the left leg. So we'll turn and look right. Resting on left cheek. Good. So geckos are obviously, I think, an inner thigh stretch, right? Good for the hip. But they also give the low back a little relief too. So I like the way that they kind of help take tension out of the low back, lumbar back. Lumbar spine. And then let's heel and toe our leg back to neutral. Good. We're going to do a few moving cobras now. We'll turn our attention to the upper back. And let's just have the hands on either side of the rib cage with the elbows up. So in our cobra position, head is resting on the forehead. And as you exhale now, we're going to firm the glutes, press the pubic bone down into the floor, and lift your head and look to your left. Good. So this is an unsupported cobra. Hands are just here to guide you. And we're just seeing how high we can comfortably lift and look to the left. And then come back down to your forehead. And again, engage the low body, squeeze the glutes, press the pelvis down, lift the shoulders, and now look over your right shoulder. And we're going to try moving with the breath. So now, as you inhale, relax, bring the forehead down. Exhale, squeeze, lift, and look left. Inhale, release down. Exhale, squeeze and lift, look right. Inhale, come down. Good. You got it. So work at the pace of your breath. And the exhale, you're squeezing, pressing, and lifting your head and shoulders. And the inhalation, we're gently placing ourselves back into neutral. Good. And let's try looking both ways one more time. Engage and lift and look. Relax and switch. So then we're back to our forehead is on the floor. And from here, let's bring the arms out into a letter T. If you don't have quite enough room in your space, your hands could be instead in cactus arms. And now we're going to think about rolling over onto the right hip. So let your left hand come to the floor. Make sure I have enough room here. And if you can, bring your right arm straight and roll to your right hip. So I think I'm gonna have to bend my elbow here. Okay, so I am on the floor here on my right hip. Knees are bent, and the right arm is behind you. So make sure your right shoulder is okay. Okay, this is a big stretch, a big opening for the front of the shoulder, and we don't want to be loading it too much. So if you have an injury in your rotator cuff and this hurts, bring your arm back to neutral, and that means bring your right arm back in front of you. If you just need a little less, you could use your fingers to spider walk the arm closer to your body. Otherwise, we're out at 90 from the shoulder joint. And we're going to take the left big toe now and just tap the floor behind you. Okay, we can stay right here. If you want to slide the leg away from you a little bit, bring the body into more of a twist, you can do that. Good. And let's just relax and stay here for about 10 breaths. And relax through the shoulder. Let your head be heavy. If you want to grab your cushion and rest your head on that, you can. Good. Find those deep belly breaths. Good. Then let's bring that left leg back and restack it on top of the right. And bringing the arms back out into a T, we're going to gently bring ourselves back onto our bellies. Lift your head, wiggle around a little bit. Good. Rest here, relaxing shoulders, upper back. Gently pick up your head now and let's rotate and rest on the left cheek. Good. Use your right hand to help you come to rest on your left hip. Good. So knees are bent, legs are stacked, and we're resting on the left hip. And the left arm is straight out behind us. So again, make sure your arm is comfortable before you do anything else. If the shoulder hurts here, bring the arm back in front of you. If you need the arm to scooch closer to your body, let that happen. Yeah. Otherwise, we're out at 90 degrees, and now take your top leg and let your right big toe just tap the floor behind you. And from there, you might slide your leg away, come into a deeper rotation. or not. Good. And we'll stay here again for about 10 breaths. Just opening up that shoulder, that side body. And then let's restack the legs. Again, we're gonna come out into our letter T, so you might bring your legs long. And kind of scooch yourself back onto your belly. And just here. And just settle into the floor. And from here, we're gonna come up into table and just do a few cat and cow stretches. If you prefer to do these standing up, you can make your way all the way up onto your feet, hands on a chair or a wall. So coming to either a standing position or to a table position. And we're just going to move into some cat and cow movements for the back. So wrists, shoulders are in alignment, knees, hips. And let's lift the sit bones and look forward. And then drop the sit bones, arch through the spine, press the floor away as you drop your head. Okay, you got it. Just moving. And if you feel the call to move in a creative way, you can do that as well. So maybe bringing your right sit bone down towards your right heel and back. And maybe your left sit bone down towards your left heel and back. Move into that spinal flossing motion. Yeah, spinal flossing means we're in cow coming back, we're in cat rocking forward. Feel like some pelvic circles would be good. The hands can come a little further away and we can take the whole pelvis around. Get in one direction and then the other. And then we might top it off with a downward facing dog. So when the back feels good, hands come back into place and toes turn under. Let's lift the sit bones up and pressing the floor away and just walking it out. If you're at the wall, you can either come back to your mat for this, or you could do this against the wall as well. Okay. And we're all going to come to standing next. So if you're down in your dog, you can lift your heels high, walk your hands back towards your feet, and we'll end up in our dangling position. Again, so soft forward fold, nice little bend in the knees, and we might rest hands in opposite elbows. And just being here for a few breaths, allowing the spine to lengthen, head and shoulders to drop towards the floor. And we're going to stand up so slow. So if you do have your hands pretzeled into your elbows, let the arms go. And remember, we fix the shoulders and head last. So draw your navel in and start to roll up your spine. Slow, slow, slow. Yeah. When you get to the place where your body is tall, your sternum is lifted, then shoulders come up to the ears, press back and release down. And then eyes forward. Good. That just helps a little bit with not getting a head rush. Let the head come last. Okay, find your feet. And let's make soft fists with the hands, elbows back, arms back. And we'll make a few standing twists now. So step a little wider, eyes stay forward. And I thought it'd be fun to do a few moon salutations. So it's a very nice, nice flow. Okay, so the moon salutations go a long way across the mat instead of facing the short way. So let's all go down to the end of our mat. We're facing the long end of the mat where the little left toe will be by the edge. Your baby left toe is on the edge of the short end of your mat. And you check down, legs are in Tadasana. And we're going to make our full moon shape. So for that, we interlace just the tips of the fingers and we frame the head. Good. So this is the full moon, shoulder blades together, chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. Good. And we dip the chin a little bit, neck is long. And we go from the full moon to the half moon. So we close the palms, point your fingers up. These are temple hands. Hug your ears and dip right. And when you dip right, you can turn your head and look down at the earth below, half moon. And then from half moon, we're going to step out into the goddess pose. So you can release your hands and let's step wide. Good. So we're in our squatting legs, hands are awake. So fingers are spread, palms are open. Stay here for a breath. Great. From here, we're going to go to triangle pose. So for that, the legs straighten, left toes in, right toes out. Triangle. And then from our triangle pose, we're going to come down to crescent moon. So if you don't come down on your knees well, we can do something like this, right? Maybe like a warrior one and not come all the way down. If your back knee is okay to come down, we're going to frame the foot, drop your knee, straighten your ankle. And then everybody, let's lift the heart, crescent moon. Good, hold here. Good, big breaths. And then we'll come to our new moon, and our new moon is a child's pose. So we're going to take the two hands down to the floor, and we'll just kind of tuck ourselves in here. We want to stack your fists to rest your forehead. You can do that. So in the new moon, we are folded forward. We are quiet, eyes closed. Yeah, kind of you're doing the standing, just round your back, drop your head, become invisible. So if you're standing, you're going to roll yourself back up to neutral. For anybody who's down on the floor, palms come to the floor, and we're going to rock onto our knees, turn our toes under. Good, and then you come to these frog legs. Good, drop your heels. Everybody roll up to tall with arms overhead, palms touching, and hands to the heart. Okay, so we'll do that same thing, but this time with the little right toe at the edge of the mat. Nice big inhale, and let's come to our full moon. Fingertips are interlaced, shoulder blades pressed back, chest open. And then temple hands, palms together, pointer fingers up. Hug your ears and dip left. And you can take your eyes down to the floor. This is the half moon. And from the half moon, we step out into the goddess pose. So release the hands and step wide. Again, goddess becomes triangle. So you can start to straighten your legs and right toes in, left toes out. Good. And then whichever version of crescent moon you like. Again, we could do it in the warrior one stance, or we can do it all the way down on the floor. Right knee down, right ankle straightens, and we open crescent moon. That's the thing, a beautiful extension through the spine, little back bend. Okay, and then your version of new moon. So if you're down here on the floor, the hands can come to the long end of the mat, and you'll find your child's pose. If you're standing, again, you can just kind of bow your head, drop your shoulders, and we might close our eyes. Again, feeling the inward draw of the new moon, all darkness. If you're standing, you can start to roll yourself back up. If you're down on the floor, palms of the hands come to the floor, rock onto your knees and turn your toes under. From here, you kind of step up into your frog. And let's start to come up nice and slow. And bringing those arms up overhead to meet above the crown. And then we exhale the hands to the heart, everybody in neutral. All right. And now we will come to our relaxation pose. So when you're ready, find whichever position is most comfortable for you. Let's take a Shavasana, maybe a bolster under your knees. If you'd like to be in crocodile, you can choose crocodile. And just grabbing a socks or a blanket. And arrange your body in such a way that you feel completely supported. Shoulders are heavy, eyes are closed. And with your eyes closed, feel the floor underneath you. And so after over an hour of movement, feels good, all right? Feels good to allow the floor to take the weight of your body and just let go. I always like to take a moment here to feel your practice in your body. So which places in you are speaking to you now? And can you feel your forward bends? Can you feel your extensions? Right? Those times you open the spine, your hip joints, your shoulder joints. And we just give ourselves a little time to integrate those shifts in energy. And that's why we do this, right? I mean, it's just lovely to relax anyway at the end of anything you do, or anything that's strenuous. But we very specifically take time at the end of a yoga practice, even if it's only a little time, to allow this energy to integrate. All right, so we get a lot of things going through movement, stretching, breathing. And this quiet time now lets that energy settle. Lets these new patterns of movement within the pranic body set themselves. So we can do yoga and then just run on to the next thing, but we'll really miss something if we don't take the time to integrate. So with gratitude, just feel all the amazing things that your body did. Go to any places where you feel ease. Things that are now open, that are now heavy. Observe the movement of your breath. And if we think about at 9:30 when we checked where is the breath, and I said it's probably high up in your chest. Where is your breath now? And if it's still high up in your chest, that's okay. No judgment, but I'm hoping, guessing, that it's probably more integrated into the body. You probably feel the breath in your nose, in your chest, in your belly, in your low back. Now soften around your eyes and across your forehead. Relax your jaw, allowing the teeth to part. See if you can bring the memory of what it felt like to do your eye exercises. And deeply relax your eyes. You may even feel them drop deeper into your head. Soften the insides of your cheeks. Start to move down your neck, softening the back, the sides, and deeply relaxing the throat. Feel the coolness of your inhalation as it moves into the nose, and the warmth of the exhalation as it moves out. Deeply softening across your upper back, down the lengths of your arms into your hands and your fingers. Soften your wrist joints, elbows and shoulders. Good. Relax the whole weight of your rib cage. Soft shoulder blades. Soften the lower back and the sides of your waist. And let go of any tension in the belly. And just observe your body as it fills and empties. And again, you might bring forward the memory of what it feels like to do the squeeze of Agnisara. And deeply relax your navel, your low belly. Relax the pelvic floor. Memory of Ashwini Mudra. Relax your glutes. And then softening down the lengths of your legs through the thighs and the knees. Low legs and ankles. Relax your feet. all the little joints in your toes, the arches of your feet. And now feel your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you inhale now, feel your whole body breathe, just as if the breath came in through every pore in your skin and every cell in your body took in fresh energy. And then feel that your whole body is expanding in space. And in the same way, the whole body is feeling. So feel as you breathe out that every cell is letting go of stale energy, of tension. With the thought, let go, let go. And again, now bringing attention to the movement of breath in the nose. Feeling the coolness of the inhalation as it touches the skin inside the nose. The warmth of the exhalation as it moves out. And start to bring that inhalation somewhere even deeper. So inhaling into the nose and bringing the breath into the head to the space behind the eyes. And you start to see these 2 points in your mind's eye, the one point being the bridge between the nostrils, the other point being somewhere behind your eyes, behind your eyebrows, below your crown in the center of the head. And just watch the breath play between these 2 points. Watch your inhalation move up, your exhalation flow back down. And then allow that point behind your eyebrows to become anything it naturally would like to be. So very often we imagine a crystal flame. So if you see such a flame in the space of your Agya chakra, this place in your head, you can bring forward a flame, maybe a crystal flame, or if there's some other symbol that is meaningful to your heart, you could see that symbol there. Again, don't force anything. Just ask your mind, what would it like to see? And we hold that beautiful symbol in the mind's eye. We inhale to it, hearing so. We exhale from it, hearing hum. So hum. Allowing the sound of the mantra to fill the space of your mind. And feeling that the sound of the mantra radiates from that space and whatever symbol you have placed there. Allowing the energy of the mantra to radiate from the center of your mind. And now let's just stay at that point. So staying at the space behind your eyebrows in the center of your head. And the symbol that you placed there. And we're no longer moving, just breathing out of and into that one point. With so, with hum. And if you have a personal mantra that you work with, feel free to move to that mantra now or stay with Soham. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace to us and to all beings. Good. And then allow the breath to go deeper You can allow the mantra as well to go. Starting to move your body, wiggling fingers and toes, moving your head, and becoming aware of the room around you. You can start to transition yourself to a seated position, and we'll just be here for a few moments. So take your time and gently come to your cushion. And when you're ready, let's warm our hands. And we'll cup the hands over the eyes and allow the eyes to open to the darkness of the hands. And you can take your hands away when you're ready. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me this morning. Have a beautiful day, wonderful week. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Lovely class.
My pleasure. Wonderful to see you.
Tracy.
Yeah, have a good week, everybody.
You too.
Yeah, kind of busy one, so exciting. Tracy.